It's time for the Steve and Kyle podcast with Kyle.
The expression comes from the 15th century England. If somebody wanted to show that they were dissatisfied with something, they would find bones in it, a reference to finding bones in soup, which was not a pleasant discovery. Full of bones.
Tomato soup.
Well,
and as you're going...
I don't know if it would have been tomato.
Well, you get a tomato bone.
That's a good point. I feel silly.
And Steve.
I also want it to be very clear. I want to get the front end. I do not need to make light of any cancer, let alone melanoma.
Yeah, this is just this is a
pure hypothetical. So anybody who has suffered loss or have melanoma themselves,
Kyle thinks that baldness is worse. Yeah, hard to spin that any other way.
Live on tape from APS 3 point whatever, it's the Steve and Kyle podcast.
APS 3 point whatever looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
A little bit today, Steve.
Yeah, a little bit.
I'm glad that was mentioned there by our friend Melissa Vaughn. You think she'd consider us a friend?
Well, you're sounding super muffled today. I understand.
Think so?
I don't know if it's because you're talking into the side of the mic or the...
Let me see. Is this any better?
Oh, boy. That's
Is this superior?
light years better.
Okay. You know what? We'll
Give a little rotate. There you go.
How about that? Huh?
There you go. There you go.
5 years into this thing, I think it's time, Steve, that I ask you outright. How do microphones work?
I mean, are you supposed to talk right into them, or are you talking to the side?
Now you know better than I do. There are side talking or microphones meant to be spoken into the sides.
Yeah.
Why?
Uh-huh.
And why aren't all microphones simply
front talkers or side talkers?
The whole thing.
I know. Look, the only thing I know, there are unidirectional and there are omnidirectional.
I mean, this just seems like a real gamut by Big Microphone.
Yeah, Big Mike.
To make us buy different or new microphones.
Yeah. Because
I feel like in the past I have spoken into the side mostly.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you're definitely you're a side talker.
Yeah.
I'm a front talker.
And I feel like we received one tweet about it last week saying, was Kyle's microphone even on?
Was it that bad?
Must have been noticeable. I couldn't tell you. I don't listen to this garbage.
Look, you have to understand, people listening, that when this ends and we hit stop on the record, the next thing I do is hit upload.
Yeah.
I don't go back and listen to it and critique it. I used to, but then I realized that didn't matter because there are podcasts that sound far worse. There are podcasts where people just talk into their phones, like they hit record on the voice memo on their phone, put it down in the middle of the table, and then people around the table talk.
Which is
and people listen to them. Yeah. So I feel like ours is slightly better.
Right. I think we've
look, audio quality wise, I'm not
right.
Not to say that our content is any better than anyone.
Right.
Well aware that it is not.
So yeah, I guess that'll be my new focus. Maybe just like those idiot horses. Maybe you could put blinders on my microphone so that way, I'm not tempted to all of a sudden turn it to the side talk into the side.
That's remarkable, the difference going from one to the other.
Because if I talk into the side and I sound like a real buffoon, again, I would need those horse blinders to then turn the microphone towards me directly.
Yeah, maybe we just need the little lavalier ones, or the ones that it's like the headphone with the little like a sports broadcaster type mic.
Right.
Maybe we need them.
Are there any other animals as dumb that need blinders so they don't get distracted from walking?
Naturally, this turns into a beat up on
horses.
It's
the same animal who literally eats itself to death if you don't stop it. So the two known things we know about horses is they'll eat themselves to death if you let them.
Is that a true fact?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a true thing?
And I apologize for forgetting what it's exactly called, but yes, they will. They will absolutely continue to eat until their stomach explodes because they don't know to stop.
Poor decision.
And they also need blinders from not getting distracted by anything while walking.
Yeah.
Oh, and the holy triumvirate: if they stub their toe, you gotta shoot them.
That is a bit of a flaw in their design.
How did we rely on these stupid
Yeah.
beasts for as long as we did for everything, Steve?
It's crazy too when you look at a dog.
Yeah.
You see dogs that run around on 3 legs because they break their leg or have some crazy disease or whatever.
Dogs adapt.
They just hack that thing off.
Yep.
A horse stubs its toe. And you gotta shoot it.
Yeah. Our mutual acquaintance, Dave Kim, has a 3-legged dog.
He does, yeah.
And that dog is adorable.
Uh-huh.
And it's a loving pet.
Terrible name though.
Oh, what is it?
His name is Greg.
Oh, that's not a good name.
No. Awful name.
But if that something similar happened to that horse, again, I'm sorry, it's just glue now. It's just Elmer's.
Yeah. So I want to start off by we got a little money to take care of, some checks to cash
is
here.
It Billy Stacks time?
It is Billy. This actually showed up about a week and a half ago. I forgot to pass it off to you last week. It's our monthly $5 check.
Billy,
from
you're
Billy
a
Stacks.
good man.
Now-
Please post to the account donor 0. Okay.
Now this one showed up in the P.O. box.
Wait, another one?
I'm not sure. It says payment enclosed on it.
Okay.
And this showed up actually before we recorded last week. I totally forgot to bring it downstairs. And normally when I have anything I want to present to you, I have it sitting here on the table so we don't forget to talk about it. So this showed up about a week and a half ago. And in the little return address window is a name that's very familiar to us.
Okay, let me take a
look
look.
at that.
Oh, look at that. Our friend Trevor in Nashville.
Trevor in
Steve.
Nashville.
Boy, is Trevor, and without giving out Trevor's personal information here, I'm now kind of getting flashbacks. Didn't you were there? You lived there. Don't people make fun of people who say they're from, New York or New York City when they're, from
a suburb,
whether it be upstate or wherever.
A suburb 45 minutes outside of.
I mean, the entire identity of Trevor in Nashville is his name, Trevor in Nashville. Yet I'm looking at an address right now, Trevor.
Trevor in Dixon just doesn't have doesn't have the oomph.
Like, this is, I bet Chicago people get this way too because they're probably hoity-toity.
Yeah.
That if you live in the suburbs, whatever, I think it's Roseville, there's a bunch of upscale suburbs outside of Chicago. You can no longer say you live in Chicago.
All right, well, I guess we'll let the contents of this envelope determine how mad we are at Trevor.
Yeah, give that thing a rip open for me there, Steve.
So
I'd like to...
Again, it says payment enclosed on it. Now, I don't know what we were expecting.
I'm sure at some point we've been due a payment from someone, so it's about time.
All right. It is a check.
Hey. Oh, hang on. Before you say anything,
okay,
let me just think about what we're buying.
All right, I'll tell you what. You name what you want to buy, and I'll say
tell me how much
I'll say if we can afford it or not. We'll combine the check from Billy Stacks
and
with
Trevor
this.
and Dixon.
So whatever your guess is. Remember, there's an extra $5 in there too.
Okay. I'm thinking concrete countertop for the new studio.
Like pre-made, or we're buying all the stuff and doing it ourselves.
Well, I know you, so I know how this is probably going to go.
Yeah, come on now.
And I know we've also had an offer for help to do this from our friend Chris.
Yeah.
So I will say, if for this scenario...
By the way, Chris is now referred to as Porsche driver Chris. Chris has a Porsche.
Oh, yeah, that's
now.
right. Chris has a Porsche.
Yeah, so he's Rich Chris or Porsche driver Chris.
That's right. Those are fair descriptors. Mm-hmm. So I will say that this is a DIY concrete countertop for APS 4.0.
Now, I know that a bag of concrete, like an 80-pound bag of concrete...
Do you need special concrete for this? So it looks different?
I don't know. I think you can get like dyes and like powder that you put in it to kind of change the color of it.
And now you've got a contact, so maybe you could just call the people who epoxied your floor in your
that's
garage
true. I wonder if they would
just say, would you do a much smaller project in my basement?
They would do that. If we gave them the piece of concrete.
They do it all, and then we'd have it to install.
I bet they would. That's an idea.
So we could just buy 8 bags of Quickcrete.
I don't even think we'd need that many. Because
you thinking the whole thing?
Because you've seen the.
I saw the floor.
You saw the floor.
Yeah.
But we can get it in nearly any color.
Wow.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's right. Listen, if there's one thing I encourage, it's abusing your contacts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think
absolutely.
it's vital to take any type of in you may have with some type of contact, whether it be business related, and you abuse it to the point where they don't answer you
Exactly.
anymore.
They hate me.
You need to get to the point where those emails start going unreplied.
Yep.
And you're like, hey, I got a buddy. I told him you'd hook him up with a discount.
or I get the text back from the number that says like, "This is Maria.
Yeah.
Bob no longer has this
Yep,
number."
yep.
I get these texts all the time.
Yep.
Please leave me alone. Signed, not Bob.
So in this scenario, though, that we're discussing from Trevor and Dixon's payment, I think it's a DIY concrete countertop for APS 4.0. How close are we?
We're going to be able to buy a couple bags of concrete.
Hey!
Pretty good, right? Right? This check, I'll tell you what, it's by far the biggest check we've gotten for no reason out of nowhere.
Hey! Take that, Billy.
The first number is a 1.
Oh, my God.
The second number is a 9.
Hey!
The third number is a 9.
Okay.
The fourth number is a 9.
$19.99.
Yeah, I was going to say, there is a decimal point in there somewhere. I was going to let you guess where it is.
From our friend Trevor and Dixon. Thank you so much, Trevor. Wow. An out-of-the-blue monetary gift.
I don't know what this is for. Don't care what it's for because I'm going to cash it.
We're putting her in the slush fund.
Look at that.
Man, no
19.
notes on that anywhere?
No notes on it anywhere.
Void after 180 days, so let's make sure I don't forget this.
Just waiting, because I got that probably 2 weeks ago, so I'm waiting. So maybe in another 2 weeks we'll...
Well, you've got a week and you'll get the next Billy Stacks.
Yeah.
And then we'll be at $29.99.
Wait a minute. This is the first month that this podcast is in the black.
Hey!
Congratulations.
That makes sense. That's why he did $19.99. Because himself, he wanted to keep us in the red.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. All right, a little FU that we were able to turn around to you, Trevor. How about that?
Pretty good. Look
That
at that.
is-
Yeah, between those two checks, we can buy our concrete. And I'm going to talk to my concrete guy.
Look at that. We got a concrete guy over here. Can
What-
you believe that?
Okay, we'll have to pick out colors.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
I think just the most...
I'm thinking over the top.
I know. I was going to say,
Yeah.
like, how many different color chips can they put in there?
Right. I want you and I to throw darts at the colors of chips, but like 12 darts.
Yeah.
Okay, I want this thing to be a rainbow.
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, it's going to be nice.
Now that we're talking about the APS, we've been
You started to say that the
been distracted.
APS 3 point whatever looks...
Yeah,
Tell me what, something. Paint a picture. Paint a picture for people to listen.
We've added, which is good.
We
generally.
have, yeah.
So when I tell everybody, they're probably going to think that we're flying high when I tell them that we don't have an ice cream cart.
Yeah,
in APS 3 point whatever.
We do. We have an ice cream cart. You see what else? We got a pony too.
We got a pony, and a walk-in cart with a telephone.
Yeah, it's a little like a walker that a child. Oh, yeah. You want to put that switch right in the middle.
Got her.
Yeah, it's my daughter's little cart that like a little walker that they use when they first start to walk, and it's got like all the activity stuff on it and buttons and phones and bells and whistles. Yeah.
Over the course of a year now, Steve, this has started where, we moved. We went kitty corner. And in this basement room, moved our table to make room for cricket corner. Cricket corner became cricket half. And then cricket half has become Evelyn's other half.
Yeah.
Or Evelyn's other third?
This is now the playroom.
Yeah.
It is 100% the playroom, which is nice. I like having it down here as opposed to in the middle of the living room upstairs.
Yes.
I don't want people walking in the door and tripping over roller skates and dolls. So it's kind of cool because it's out of sight, out of mind, except for when we have to record. It's also our spot. But I was told by Annette because there's now a little kitchen set in here, which was her.
Oh, okay. So there's been discussion about the encroachment.
Discussion means that
Okay, it's not a two-way street. Then.
it's
Okay,
that there are two people participating,
reading all the lines that need to be read here,
and that there is discussion, that there's conversation. So the little kitchen set over here, that was
very nice, by the way, very organized.
First birthday gift. Ordered it from IKEA, and it showed up. We were on top of it. It showed up probably 2 months ago, and you may not have noticed, but it sat in the
I noticed
in the doorway.
I noticed, but not my business.
Yeah,
right?
sat in the entryway of our house until last Saturday morning, which was the day of her birthday party, when I brought it down here
and put it together.
And it took me 30 minutes maybe to put it together, but I just kept putting it off.
It should go said, too, that walking in and seeing any type of box in this house is not out of the norm. Mm-hmm. The number of projects you do, whether it's a box of trim, whether it's paint, it doesn't matter. There's typically some stuff that you are doing, so to the point where I see it and I move on. And
since Annette's business has been up and running, she obviously orders her supplies. So there's, it's not out of the question for
deliveries
3-4 days a week to get something from, a different company that she orders from.
Absolutely.
So, I put that when I was putting it together, or before I put it together, I said to her, "Hey, where are we putting this?" She's like, "Oh, it's going down in the basement." I'm like, "All right, well, kind of running out of room."
Yeah, that's so in your head, you've already got the layout of the room. We're down here once a week.
Yeah.
You're like, we've got the chair in that corner. We've got the...
Which, by the way, I think I'm getting rid of. Because
you getting rid of the chair?
I don't think anyone has sat in that chair since it's been there.
Yeah, I mean, you've got all the... my shirt's on there, though, so make sure I get that before you get rid of it, please.
That's true.
I mean, you just got to tell me which one.
Uh-huh.
I've been waiting to take it.
What size are you again?
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of that size. Oh, man. Sorry. Apologize for that. Yeah, we'll get you on the next order.
You got the machine over there, though, right?
Yeah.
Could rig me up a new one?
It doesn't print shirts.
Oh. Guess I'm just out of a loop on what that thing does.
To be honest, so am I. So
looks very official, though.
Yeah. So as I'm putting it together, I'm kind of taking a quick look at the real estate and realizing it's dwindling pretty quick because we got a big couch down here too.
Yeah.
So I said to Annette, "Where are we going to put this?" She's like, "I'll put it there. I'm just going to..." Because a lot of the toys that were over there were toys that she's already outgrown. Mm-hmm. So they kind of go into the deep freeze, into the long-term storage. And then she said, she's like, "I'm just going to start putting stuff around your table down there in hopes that motivates you to finish your studio so I can have that room to myself."
Oh, so this is on purpose.
Yeah, very blatant too. I mean, I kind of respect her calling her shot like that because like a little bouncy ball.
Yep, a little that she can hold on to and bounce next to the walking cart, which is next to the ice cream cart, which is next to the pony.
Yeah.
I mean, you have it worse than I do. I have a straight shot.
Yeah.
You have to literally dance over multiple toys to get to your side of the table, tucked against the wall there. So
I guess, long story long, the studio is starting to take some priority here.
The next uncharted territory is things on the actual table, right? Whether it's, some of her toys from these bigger toys that are resting there, eventually then, like this table, hey, can you fold it in half?
Right.
And then so you and I are tucked in against.
Yeah. Can you scooch a bit?
Yeah, into the half folding table.
Yeah. Well, now that we have an idea for the for our concrete countertop,
abuse the contacts.
I think this is something that's going to have to happen.
I mean, we don't have much else in the books of what we've talked about.
Yeah, I think that
we had the false start about 2 years ago with the metal that you traveled like 90 minutes for, 45 minutes there.
And made some money off that, though.
And
probably made my gas money back.
Which was then given away.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're back at square one on that.
Back at
Hey,
square one.
The big news to take away here, though, APS 4.0 is back on the books.
Hey!
Hey!
All right, coming 2020. You know anyone with a truck? I need to borrow a truck to get some drywall. And then, do you know anyone who wants to help carry drywall? Because I feel like I've burned out my one contact.
Yeah, your bridge is done there. Yeah, I can help you carry drywall.
Yeah?
I can withstand the screaming.
Okay, what about a truck? You got a truck?
Don't you have like 40% of one?
I do. You know, I do have a truck, and it's all put back together.
Just need the other 60%, or
It's, you know, I'm looking to do this now, not.
maybe this bumps up the timeline for the Manchi before the studio. What do you think?
What was that? So hey, here we go.
Comanche project coming 2022.
Well, look, I would rather have. I mean, as much as I want to drive the Manchi, I would like us to not be like sitting on each other's laps here while we're recording the podcast.
Right. Maybe we make a power play of our own.
Yeah, what do you got?
And we just move this table into the middle of the room.
Or move her
Or start
into the
moving
studio.
into the concrete jungle that is at some point supposed to be APS 4.0.
I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all.
I
Do need an electrical expert to come in, and so I'm going to send a text to Rich Chris, the Porsche man, see if he can stop over and give me some.
Yeah, because this is from the ground up.
Yeah.
So
we got a blank
electrical,
slate in there.
There's a lot of stuff that needs to be done before we get to concrete countertop, right? I mean, not just drywall, but before drywall, there needs to be insulation. Anybody an insulation guy out there? Huh?
Yeah, we know anyone at the Soundproof Cow?
Can our Chris Seinel and Ryan Young 3D print that for us?
Some insulation.
Is that possible?
All right, let's see. I'm sending Chris a text right now. When are you available to come gawk at a garage floor? Show off your Porsche and give me some electrical advice.
Yeah.
There we go. See? Like how I threw in just kind of slipped that in at the end.
Yeah. Because then once he sees it, you start talking podcasts again. Next thing you know, he's running to the store and he's coming back with 3,000 feet of electrical wire. And next thing you know, we got a wired studio.
Yeah.
On a Saturday or on like a Tuesday night.
He's got a Porsche. I wonder if I can fit drywall on that thing.
Strap it on top. You've seen worse.
Mm-hmm. I've done worse.
You saw a man named Wreck.
I have, yeah.
Strap hundreds of feet of vinyl fence.
Very true.
Into his Buick LeSabre.
I think it was a town car. Lincoln Town Car.
Ooh, that is highbrow.
It was old. It was very old.
So that's where we're at. We're being pinched.
Yeah.
That's okay. This was meant to be a temporary space anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So...
And it has become it has become the space that we've been in by far the longest.
Yeah. Annette is just doing you a favor and me a favor by saying, hey, obviously you need that motivation.
Yeah.
Here it is. Give you the push off the dock.
Yeah, I think the issue is I still don't know what I want to do for design-wise. So I think by default, I'm just gonna put up drywall. Can always put stuff over the drywall. We're never going to be in a position where we don't need the drywall. So.
Right. Drywall is always a necessity. So, Trevor and Dixon, if you just want to send us drywall instead.
Wasn't my brother the official drywall sponsor?
He was
of the last studio?
Yes. Yeah. In 2.0, right?
Look,
yeah.
I think we lost him though.
We didn't do any favors.
All right. Let's see. Shoot him a text. Tell him. Say, hey, listener. How would you like to get on the ground floor of an investment that will pay you back tenfold?
Yeah.
Asterisk. And then at the bottom, will not pay you back tenfold.
Will not pay you back onefold. Well, no.
We are reaching out to our favorite people to help fundraise our latest effort.
It's that time again, everyone.
Maybe we can somehow swing this into being like a charitable thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's for the... How about the Steve and Kyle podcast?
Weren't we selling bricks 6 months ago?
That's right. We were selling bricks.
We were going to sell fake bricks for a part of one of the walls in the new studio.
Yeah, I think we asked for people to let us know if they were interested, and
I'm sure they're just getting around to it.
Didn't get a lot of interest.
They're getting back to us in the same fashion that Facebook's getting back to us about the polls.
Yeah.
And the Soundproof Cow is getting back to us about insulating the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Timely.
Yeah.
And they're really doing their due diligence.
Yeah.
So thank you to everybody for that. Hey, I've received a few tweets about this the last few weeks, and I wanted to bring it up to you because I think this is right up your alley, Steve.
What do you got?
For your birthday this year, you received a message from your buddy, Crew Jones.
That was Bill
Allen.
Bill Allen.
Did not look great. Bill has aged, and not aged very well.
Didn't look great. I'll tell you what, Lori Loughlin was in that movie as well.
Yes, and take a look at those two.
One of them has aged much better than the other.
And to clarify, Bill Allen did not play Lori Loughlin's father. Okay?
No.
Peers.
Yeah.
Love interests.
Yeah, they were love interests.
And now, you would be excused if you thought, hey, Lori, who's your dad? Or how's your dad?
Yeah.
And they would be pointing at Bill Allen.
Yeah.
No offense, Bill. And I had no idea that it is the 35th anniversary of the movie Rad.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that. There are...
So that came out when you were 5.
Yeah.
You didn't? Did you see it right away? You
No,
were
no,
into
no.
Okay, so you're
No,
probably
I didn't.
9, 10 years old, maybe.
I don't even think it was that early.
Okay.
I bet it was probably... I bet it was when I got into BMX, which was probably 14, 15.
So I'm trying to think about it. So that's 9 years. So right now, that movie stuck with you 9 years after it came out. So that's the equivalent of you and I right now going to watch a movie from 2012.
Yep.
But in your mind, obviously this movie held up for you. It stood the test of time because you watched it immediately. You loved it.
I think that it's... that would fall into a cult classic genre. So corny, but still really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
like you give it a pass for being corny.
Yeah,
because you have a lot of memories associated with it.
Yeah, and I'm looking at. I thought this would be a bit different because I'm looking at the top grossing films of 2012. And I think most of them probably hold up in terms of like the way they appear and like they're not looking horribly. 9 years in today's day and age, not that outdated. But I bet, now that I think about it, 1986 to 94, it's kind of there was a bit of a shift in movies there, right?
Sure.
Big action movies. I mean, we were moved out of the Arnold Schwarzenegger as much in the 80s. It's a bit different. So maybe it did, like when you're watching it, like, oh boy, this is a bit yuck. I can feel the age on this.
Yeah, but with that one, it wasn't obviously not like a sci-fi movie or anything.
Yeah.
So there weren't any special effects or crazy graphics or anything like that. So.
But I still think you could watch The Avengers today. And,
probably.
And it would not... Now, granted, obviously CGI, all that stuff changes month to month, let alone year to year. So 9 years, I'm sure you're going to see a few things you're like, oh boy, whatever. Skyfall, one of the Bond movies, outstanding. Dark Knight Rises, the third in the Batman trilogy there. The Hobbit. So yeah, you know what? I can't rag on you for enjoying Rad.
That's
9
right.
years after it came out because maybe it did hold up. Now, granted, you were probably the only kid at that point in school talking about the 9-year-old movie Rad.
Yeah, I mean, other than my other BMX friends.
Right. So you guys were the only ones who knew the greatness
of Crew
that
Jones.
Was Rad, while everybody else was looking at was talking about 1994 movies.
So 1994, that was that had to be around the time of
let me see
Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump was like 93 or 94.
Let me see what your classmates, your cohorts were talking about that you were going, it's not Brad. You were passing on The Lion King, which I'm not saying you didn't see. Obviously,
Yeah.
I think everybody saw The Lion King.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump. Forrest Gump at age 14, 13. That's probably right around the age. Should kids be watching that age? Is that 13, 14? It was a PG-13 movie, so I guess it's an overall. It's fine.
Yeah. I love that. Honestly, still one of my favorite movies of all time. Really? Why?
Stupid Jenny. She's just the worst.
Oh, that's right. You can't get past Jenny.
Crazy whore. I mean, literally, she was a prostitute.
I mean,
right? Brought AIDS back to Forrest.
It's well, it's not it's never explicitly said that she is a prostitute.
I'm pretty sure they mentioned it.
I don't remember the Jenny as a prostitute scene.
No, that was a big storyline.
True Lies.
Where do you think Jenny on the Block came from?
Or Jenny from the Block?
Yeah, same thing. True Lies. So this is interesting because age 13, 14, True Lies being rated R. That's that age where you start trying to see and talk about rated R movies.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're the cool kid if your parents let you watch a rated R movie, like True Lies. Now, and if I remember right, age 13, 14, True Lies, and excuse me if I'm incorrect here, Steve, but that was with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Who goes, I believe, topless in that movie.
Does she?
So age 14, boys.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
That's the talk of the town. So you've got little Billy coming into school. Guys, my brother rented us True Lies. I was able to see it, and I saw boobs.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah? And then you drop whatever the stupid catchphrase from balls out, bro.
I don't understand, though. So, in your mind, in the year 1994, I could see one movie and one movie only.
No. But I'm saying you were the only one. Referencing Crew Jones.
Look, I was not a smart kid, but I know that I was smart enough to not brag about how I had just watched Rad.
I mean, we're also looking at The Mask, which was the debut of Cameron Diaz, which again, we're talking
Mask, yeah.
We're talking 14-year-old boys.
Did you like The Mask?
Yes.
That was not one. That would be at the bottom of my list of Jim Carrey movies.
Speed
was awesome with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves. Yeah.
The Flintstones. Dumb and Dumber?
Who was in the Flintstones? Was that John Goodman?
I believe that was John Goodman and Rick Moranis, Rosie O'Donnell.
Rick Moranis, yeah, that's right.
But what I'm saying is teenage boys at that point weren't talking about... You were the outlier there, right?
Yeah.
But that's just where it hit you. It is what it is.
But again, I wasn't... I don't want anyone thinking that I was the kid in middle school or whatever it was going in and being like, hey, guys, you see the Rad Race at Hell Track?
Right. You weren't wearing the merch in 1994.
No. Even back then, I knew, keep that tucked down way, way inside. Deep down inside. Don't let anyone know.
So being that it is the 35th anniversary, a lot of these movies do this. They're bringing it back, Steve.
I know. I've seen this.
One night only.
So is there anywhere around here that we can see it?
What do you consider around here?
An hour?
What's your map look like?
Within an hour.
I think I can get you there in 70 minutes.
Where do we have to go?
You got to go to Lansing, Michigan.
Oh, that's not bad.
And it's in the Lansing Mall.
Okay. Would you go?
And it's no, God.
Come on.
Good God.
Look,
no.
obviously I'm paying for your ticket. I'm buying your popcorn, buying your drink. I'm driving.
Yeah, let me give you further details because I don't think you're going.
Okay.
It's on a Thursday at 7 p.m. in Lansing.
Thursday at 7 p.m. So the movie starts at 7, done by 8:30.
Starts at 7, hour 45, so you're done by call it 8:45, call it 9 to be
safe. 9 o'clock, an hour back at least. I'd be home by 10:30.
11-ish. Yeah. 10:30, 11.
I'd do it.
You would do it.
What is the date?
Thursday, October 14.
Thursday, October. Let me pull this up on my calendar.
It's $12.50 a ticket.
October 14th.
More than a regular movie, if you can believe that.
Thursday, October 14th. $12.50, so it's going to cost me $25 in tickets, another $300 in food.
Again, I don't know who your second is. It's not me.
So you are
convincing in that.
100% out. There's no chance that you'll go to this. Because if you were in, I would absolutely do this. It would be worth it to be tired on a Friday. I would take an extra long nap during the day.
Yeah.
Are you doing that thing where you act like you're looking at your calendar?
No, I actually have the calendar up.
But you're really just playing like free cell.
Ooh.
Gonna be rough, huh?
I don't think the 14th would work.
Why not?
That is a wife school thing, and it's the.
Do you think
it's a 3-day long thing?
Do you think she'd blow it off to go see Rad with us?
Boy, I think so. Hey, hon. You know this biggest thing in a little over a year for your master's degree that you've done?
You know this movie that came out a decade before you were born?
That intrigues you, though, to go see that in theaters on a big screen?
I'd go see it. Yeah.
Now, I'm curious because this event company, they do it's the event company that does all the big movie theater ones, whether it's a sporting event or a boxing match or hey, we're re-airing all 15 hours of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Come sit with us and be weird for a day. This has to be their hardest ticket to sell.
I don't think so. Honestly, I think that...
Am I just totally...
No, but anytime you refer to something as this movie is just referred to as a cult classic, and there's a reason. There will be... I mean, it may not be sold out, but you're going to get... I don't know how many people fit in an average movie theater, a couple hundred people.
Yeah.
They'll get that. They'll easily get that. You get idiots like me who are an hour away that are like, yeah, I'll go. Convincing people like you to go with them.
Man,
So you're out.
I think I'm out. I think I'm out for this.
This could be another... Look, we haven't done an adventure in a while.
Yeah. I do like to center our events around other people being able to enjoy it. And this is one that I'm comfortable saying I wouldn't enjoy.
You would not enjoy
let alone other people
okay.
and friends of the show enjoy.
That's a shame. That's sad to hear.
But because you're not a big theater guy. We talked about this a lot. You know we're coming up on the 4-year anniversary of Stars Born in theaters, and then
4 years.
I believe it was 2017.
Oh my god! I would have said it was 2 years ago.
And then you went and saw Black Panther, I believe.
Yeah.
And those were, by my memory, the last 2 times you were in a movie theater.
And it's not even because I don't enjoy it. I love going to the movie theater. I just never...
Times change.
I don't know. I always, I'll watch movie trailers and I'll be like, yeah, definitely going to see that. But then, I don't know. It's not that easy anymore.
It's difficult, and you've got... I mean, you have to worry about, obviously, a babysitter for your child. You have to worry about finding the time. Like, hey, do we try to do it around her nap if we have somebody to watch her? All this stuff. I totally get it. But you're telling me you'd be willing to throw all that out.
Yeah.
To go see a movie that is on DVD 30 inches away from our grasp.
Yeah.
On a big screen.
Yeah, and it's on Amazon Prime, too. Because the DVD, that's great. But I don't have to do anything to pull it up. Like I can talk into my remote and say, "Play Rad, please." That I have to actually hook up a DVD player.
Showing in standard format because I don't think they upscaled that thing to HD.
I can't imagine they'd find a company to do that. They probably priced it out and said,
"No, thank you.
Not going to be worth it."
You know what? Give me a week, Steve. Give me a week to see if I can figure this out.
Really? Why don't you send that text right now?
The phone's about to die. Oh, we'll
so you just have to find somebody to watch Reed.
No, not on a Thursday. No.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe with Katie's work,
possibly.
So
it's not
school.
work. I have to see how long this thing for her schooling goes that night because it is it's a 3-day thing for her.
So you're saying there's a chance.
School. Sure.
You're saying there's a chance.
Yeah. Give me a week.
And you're going to hold me to that. I'm buying your ticket, and I'm buying your...
If you think I'm paying a penny to go see a standard definition showing of a BMX bike BMX movie that's 35 years old...
Here's the thing.
In Lansing...
If I'm going to do this, if we're going to do this, I want your honest assessment of the movie.
Sure. Not jaded.
I don't want you to... I mean, look, and if your honest assessment is it's garbage, totally fine. But I want you to try and put yourself in the mindset of 10-year-old Kyle.
Yeah.
Who's watching that
right,
movie.
Right, and at 10 didn't care about bike riding as much, but still.
Right.
I get the idea.
But you still would have, I think
the childlike wonder.
I think
get
you
it.
still would have thought it was pretty cool.
And just for clarity's sake, I'm going to pull up what the reviews were for the movie Rad back in 1986.
What is the Rotten Tomatoes score on that?
42%. Honestly, higher than I thought.
Yeah, that's not.
Now,
that's
granted,
not
they
awful.
didn't have this back in '86,
Yeah.
so a lot of these reviews are done within the last 5 years.
Yeah.
And just uploaded. So 42%, only 12 reviews though, Steve. So it's a 5 and 7.
Okay.
Boy, I got to tell you, the thumbnail. Bill Allen didn't look like a teenager in 1986.
What is the thumbnail for it?
Well, like of the trailer for a 4K restoration, I'm looking at Bill.
Oh yeah,
Bill looks 20 already.
Bill does look pretty old.
I mean, I'd be curious how old Bill was back in '86.
Do you want to watch the trailer? We can pull it up.
I really don't.
You could, okay, Rad 4K.
Talia Shire's in there. Obviously, Adrian from the Rocky films plays the mother.
Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm gonna spin this around. So,
you remember back in APS 2.0 when we had a Jumbotron that we would be able to watch things on?
I mean, we still do. It's just.
You want to throw it up there?
Actually, I could.
You want to filibuster? You want me to filibuster for another 3 minutes? I'm sure tech-wise, what could go wrong? I would be curious, too, when you get back, Steve, the last time that Jumbotron was even on. Because I can't, unless Annette uses it while she's doing her craft stuff.
I use it all the time.
Do you really?
Yeah, I come down here and watch.
Now,
I sit down here a lot when I'm doing work.
Oh, okay. Now, is that the Jumbotron that is hypothetically moving with us into APS 4.0?
I don't know. I'm not sure if we've...
Because I've offered you another television.
Yeah, what do you got? You got the big 5.5?
No, it's the one in my bedroom. I guess it's in the 40s.
Okay.
So I think a 2-monitor setup in there. What do you think?
Nice.
Right?
Because we have the one...
we barely ever used the one.
Yeah.
So I think we need to double
definitely need 2.
So that's a good way, though, that we can not have to worry about designing a large portion of one wall.
So we just cover it with TVs?
Cover it with monitors.
Okay.
I want it to be like a sports book in Las Vegas. Or like, the old commercials for the chicken wing restaurants.
Uh-huh.
Where you just walk in and there's monitors like at your ankles.
Yeah.
And they're going 30 feet up in the air.
Yeah, I like it.
But then when you actually walk into that restaurant, you realize like one of them doesn't have color. 3 of them are fuzzy and static.
Yep.
And they only have like one cable box. So they all 30 monitors are on one event. It's never as good as you want it to be.
All right, are you ready to...
Boy, am I.
To live this?
All right,
here we
so
go.
Bill Allen, Lori Loughlin, Rad.
They say this guy Bart Taylor's gonna walk hell track.
I don't know. It's gonna take a radical miracle to beat this guy.
He's in his 20s. There's no doubt in my mind Bill's in his 20s there already.
Now remember, it's going to take a radical miracle to beat Bart Taylor at Hell Track.
Radical.
And we're here for the biggest and most important bicycle motocross event ever held, Hell Track.
A little bit of hyperbole there?
No,
I thought he was going to say, like, in the Tri-County area.
Nope. Biggest one ever held.
Ever. Now, granted, this was before the Olympics and X Games and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
So the local Hell Track was the biggest bike race in the world.
Ever.
Ever.
You're gonna do it? You're gonna try to qualify?
I don't want to hear any more about it.
Oh, Bill. The crew.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
Yeah, babes dancing. Pretty sure Lori looked the exact same as when she was being walked to prison. Like a year ago.
Look at the derp look on Bill Allen's face.
I don't know how he's supposed to be the underdog that people are like, yeah. He should win.
Jones will give local fans something to cheer about.
pretty radical, right?
I'm pretty sure one of the blurbs that popped up from, I think, Slate
Yeah.
was something like, awesome tricks to badass tunes. Like,
I like the ones that don't really, really pump the movie up. They just kind of describe what it is. They say,
yeah.
a movie about BMX. Like, it's not really an endorsement.
Boy, this guy, the director, because I thought for sure this would be the only movie he's ever done. He's done 6. He did 20 movies.
Anything else we've heard of?
Yeah, Cannonball Run.
Okay.
Smokey and the Bandit.
All right.
Smokey and the Bandit 2. There you go.
Okay.
3 out of 20.
So the date, October 14th.
October 14.
Lansing, Michigan.
That's
Maybe
the
I can
place
get
to be.
I'll tell you what. Maybe I can get that Friday off.
Yeah.
Like a whole weekend out of it.
Yeah. You think? I mean, granted, we know they don't listen, so you could just make up any excuse and say, mother-in-law's in town.
Yeah.
Dad's coming to visit.
Yeah.
Brother's here. It doesn't matter. Somebody died. They're not doing any verification. You tell them now somebody died. Funeral's in 2 weeks. They're not going to question it. They're not going to bat an eye.
Right. Yeah.
Just walking in there and throwing feces at the wall.
2
2 weeks.
October 14th.
2.5 weeks. Sorry. Yeah.
So,
we'll.
If we do that, that's something that obviously we will we'll live tweet.
Yeah.
Post about it.
Yeah. In the theater because I don't have any respect for it. And I'm only there at that point.
It's a little mean.
To ruin the hundreds of other people who have this nostalgia about this movie, to ruin their night. And obviously I say this all in jest because you're talking to somebody who's like, if they re-release the original Spider-Man,
You'd be there.
I'd be there.
In Lansing on a Thursday night?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We found common ground.
Right. And so I'm saying this in jest
This is my
because
Spider-Man.
I understand. I just have questions about it. Everybody has different movies that influence them, and a BMX. But I got to tell you, boy, Lori Loughlin looks the same.
She looks fantastic.
Insane.
It's amazing.
Insane to look at. Less than 10 years later, she was, the aunt on Full House.
Yeah. She was definitely one of my first celebrity crushes.
Yeah.
Aunt
Yeah. I mean,
Becky.
she was right around that time frame, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. Are we going to get to something that we've been
let's
meaning
do
to?
it.
Yeah. What, you think so?
I think let's do a quick one.
Let's give it a
quick
try.
one.
Fast Five. Fast Five. Fast Five.
All right. Fast Five back for the first time in about a month and a half or so. You want to go first?
Yeah. As soon as I find my note,
That's right. I got mine pulled up. I can go first if you want.
I am ready.
Okay. Go for it.
Not updated. Gabby Petito.
Yeah, I guess that it would be a little bit different if you had asked me about this last week.
Yeah.
What a crazy story.
We'll talk more about it on the turnaround, but this same cycle happens with every one of these cases, and that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
Not because of the actual case as much. Not
Yeah.
that I'm dismissing that, but there's then this tug of war among internet people mostly, where it's, well, why her? Missing white girl syndrome.
Right, exactly.
What about the hundreds of whatever?
It's a pretty white girl.
And it's the same tug of war that has to happen when all that gets lost in that entire thing is that she's dead.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people have
Sure.
gone missing and dead as well. Booster shots. You online?
Yeah, heck yeah. I'll get a booster shot.
I,
If scientists and medical experts tell me that I should, then yeah, why would I not?
Yeah, the director of the CDC bypassed full CDC approval or recommendation by the groups and went ahead and recommended them for immunocompromised individuals as well as individuals 65 and older. So those will be coming very, very soon, it seems like, and I would assume that they are going to expand as it goes on.
Yeah, just like they did.
SpaceX.
Oh, they did?
that's
right. They had
like
the civilian flight, right?
Yeah, the
Like
first
a couple days.
Horrifying to me to think that no astronaut on board.
That's
None.
I said the same thing because I knew that this was coming up, and I thought, oh, cool, it's going to be like 8 people, and like 7 of them are astronauts, and then it's the one person who bought the golden ticket or whatever. But No, it's an all-civilian crew. Because I said that popped up when I was at work one day last week, and I said to everyone else in the studio, I was like, shouldn't there be at least one person who knows how to drive the thing?
Yeah.
So is it all, it's all just remote controlled then?
I guess. Yeah.
Are they doing anything while they're up there for a couple days?
I don't think so. So this being civilian, wasn't it pretty much pay for pleasure here, right?
They're just floating around then.
I mean, great. I did not look into this thing very much at all.
You'd think that while they were up there, they'd say, like, hey, if you could just, crack open these test tubes and, do whatever.
Yeah, release this monkey into a suit out into orbit.
Right.
We'll try to catch him in 3 months.
Yeah, pick him up on the...
Yeah, and see if he's grown like 8 feet tall.
Yeah.
Norm Macdonald.
That one was, man, that was a surprise. That was shocking.
Impressive for him to be able to keep that. No, I have no idea the truth of how much he kept that secret, but the report was that he kept that secret from his family as well.
Yeah,
I think maybe he meant extended family.
Yeah, I'm sure, because I read the same thing where it said friends and family were even surprised. The one thing that's really sad is going back and listening to the interviews that he did where he dropped hints. He left the little Easter eggs to say that he, in hindsight, it's easy to see that he was kind of hinting like, hey, I'm sick, but I'm not going to tell anybody, or am I? I don't know.
Quite a loss there.
Yeah. Sad. But hey, man, I'm not going to, I don't fault him for doing it his way. That's exactly how he wanted it. Good for him.
I don't know if the term divisive is correct, because it's not like his comedy itself was divisive. His delivery and method of comedy was not the norm.
Yeah.
Not normal, not
right.
Making a pun there.
Yeah.
It wasn't the average way that comedians delivered their jokes.
No, it wasn't set him up, knock him down.
He was a comedian's comedian because comedians adored the way he did his craft. It just did not land with a lot of the population because it was very cringeworthy.
Well, yeah, a lot of people don't like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I fall into that category from time to time where I don't, not with Norm Macdonald's comedy though. I always thought that, I always liked him. Always enjoyed his comedy, but
there's some moments on The Office.
Yeah,
that if it's on TV, my method is to keep it playing, but I mute it.
Yeah,
and I just need to get past that.
The scene.
It's very uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, no, that sucked, man. That was such a shock to hear.
Yeah, out of literally nowhere. And lastly, the Many Saints of Newark, Steve.
I am looking forward to that. That's what this Friday, right? Or this Saturday?
Yeah, I believe it is October 1st, I believe.
So are you going to be going to the theater for that, or are you going to be watching that?
I'm way too behind on movies as it is. That'll have to be an HBO Max.
Okay, but are you going to watch it?
No question. I'll be watching it next weekend, or this upcoming weekend for sure. Because
want to invite your old buddy Steve over to watch that?
Yeah, you need the HBO? You don't have HBO?
No, we were using somebody's for a while.
I'll get him HBO.
Oh. So, no, you don't want me to come over then?
Yeah. You know what? I'll leave the door unlocked, but I'll send you the login info. You pick whichever you want.
Well, I'm going login info then. I don't have to leave my house for that.
Oh, so you don't want to come over, huh?
No, not really. Not until I knew that.
I'm excited for this.
Not until I knew that the option was on the table to not come over.
I'm excited for this.
Me too. I love watching the teaser that came out a couple months ago, and then when the trailer came out. It's crazy to...
I've watched so little on this.
It's crazy to watch Michael Gandolfini. He's either a phenomenal actor or he just inherited a lot of the traits of his father, because even when he was on... I think it's the latter. I think he just inherited a lot of traits from his father, because he was on the Today Show earlier last week. And we were watching it. We had that on in the studio. And I just happened to look up. And when I tell you, close your eyes and picture Tony sitting in Melfi's office.
Yeah.
You can probably picture his posture. Mm-hmm. He's kind of slouched down.
Yes.
Legs out in front of him. Arms at his side. But it's a very distinct... I don't know if that was intentional, but it's very distinct that whenever he was in her office, that's how he sat. And they were, I looked up at the TV and I was like, oh my God, Michael Gandolfini is sitting in the chair, but he was sitting like Tony sat in Melfi's office. I was like, that's unbelievable.
This is
how those weird things, an
inspired choice to bring his son on, because his son, not a trained actor by any account, really returns that he is outstanding.
Yeah.
That he is outstanding. The movie, early reviews also, very positive.
Yep.
So I think a lot of the hope right now with this is that it opens David Chase, the creator of The Sopranos, who ended The Sopranos and, left it and said, hey, I told the story I wanted to tell.
Yeah, done.
But then he had this idea. And I think the hope is that now this opens his mind up and his willingness to create more Sopranos stories, maybe...
like in the same universe.
Yes, maybe even Sopranos sequels.
Yeah.
That people want to see, hey, what happened after? But everybody always wants that. What happened after? What happened after? Before that, we mentioned Norm Macdonald. A big loss for the comedy world there.
Super sad.
People started, as happens with everything, people sharing the bits that made him go popular.
The one, the from Conan.
The Moth.
Courtney,
Courtney
Thorne Smith.
Yes.
And where he just kills Carrot Top. God, that was unbelievable.
Go back and just watch the ESPYs.
Mm-hmm.
His hosting of the ESPYs that nearly got him fired mid-show, yet he did not change a thing.
Yeah.
And
just the weekend updates, the O.J. Simpson
unbelievable
references. Oh my God.
SpaceX was before that.
All right, so if you
trying
win,
to figure out if this is new, if this is a new regular thing, like every 6 months are they going to be shooting off 8 new people?
Are they back yet? Did they?
I think so.
They came back, right? I thought it was only supposed to be like 4 days or something. So if you win this trip, you're not going?
Never. Nope. Either sell it or give it back or claim I'm sick.
I'm there in a minute.
I couldn't be less interested in going to space. The only thing I'd be less interested in doing would be going into the bottom of the ocean. It does not interest me. I will let other people do that, and then I will watch a documentary on it.
Yeah. I'd do it in a minute.
Woo.
I would love it.
And I appreciate the idea, like I don't know if Wanderlust is the terminology for it.
It's just not for you.
It's not for me. It's too terrifying. I would be an absolute...
Now, do you think you'd be terrified the whole time you were there, or would it just be like the going up and coming back that you'd be...
I always go back to this idea, Steve, that not the Challenger, I don't believe it was the Challenger, the Columbia blew up because a piece of foam fell off. Foam! Yeah. A tiny piece of foam.
No. The Columbia was... Oh, wait. I'm getting them mixed up.
The Challenger was
the
84
Challenger
on
was
departure,
yeah,
right?
That's right. Yep.
And Columbia was on
was
re-entry.
2002, 2001, something like that.
And that was because of a piece of foam broke off on re-entry. And...
Well, I think it had broken. I think they noticed that it broke off on takeoff.
Oh, okay.
And they knew that it was going to be a problem the whole time they were up there, but they thought they had gotten it figured out, or thought that it wasn't going to be as big of a deal as they had originally thought.
I would not enjoy 1 second of being up there. I wouldn't enjoy... I know that the statistics on even airplane flights say that, hey, if there's going to be a problem, it's on takeoff. Yet for me, every time I know we're landing, I'm sitting there sweaty, gripping both armrests as hard as I can because I hate that feeling of hitting and then bouncing.
Yeah.
And nope, I can't imagine that coming into orbit.
I'll send you a postcard from space.
From the moon, please. Please do. Before that, booster shots.
Yeah, definitely.
In line?
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I
I'll get it.
Got the vaccine. Why wouldn't I keep going with it?
And lastly, Gabby Petito. There's a good chance I'm pronouncing that wrong.
No, I think it's Petito. I think you're right.
Kind of a story that transfixed a lot of the country here the past 2 weeks.
It is weird how certain ones, because she's not even remotely the only person who's been missing.
Right.
It's just, I don't know. I don't know what makes the news cycle churn in such a way that this one became as popular or as well known as it did.
Yeah.
But terrible story. Have they found her fiance yet?
Still not found, but don't worry. As of, I believe, 24 hours ago, Dog the Bounty Hunter's on the case.
Is he?
He's coming to join.
All right.
And you know what happens if you don't listen to Dog?
Oh, you get bit?
He murders you. Because he did time in jail for murder.
That's right. He did do that. Yeah. What a wild story.
Yeah, I mean...
So they're cross-country, a young couple on a cross-country van life type road trip. Small social media following. I think they said they had like 7,000 or 8,000 followers on social media that were following along as they documented their trip across the country.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they stopped posting their daily vlogs. from when they were in Wyoming, maybe?
Yeah,
Grand Teton National
Park.
And then a couple days later, dude shows up back in Florida without her, lawyers up immediately, and then disappears.
Yeah, this is going to go down as an overwhelming failure on police's part, it seems like.
Because
didn't keep tabs on him. And I granted, I'm not saying that they should have charged him with a crime. I understand they couldn't have. There was no crime that they knew was committed at that point. I'm not arguing that. The fact that they didn't have surveillance on pretty constantly on that family in the home and allowed him to escape to God knows where at this point. He's dead. He's in Mexico. He's in wherever.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll find him. They'll find him dead.
Unbelievable. Just an unbelievable story.
Yeah, crazy story.
Transfixed the nation.
All right, a couple of repeats here. First, Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, big loss, man. That's that. The guy never became a gigantic movie actor, but he became a top level comedian that people adored, who made a hell of a living and a lot of people laugh.
Yeah. Next, Jeopardy. Who cares?
Honestly,
I don't mean to jump in, but
the discourse on this garbage that, holy cow, you would assume that people are replacing their own father with the way that they're acting about this hosting gig. It's a game show, man.
Yeah, I don't care.
And quite honestly, also, you had years.
Yeah, exactly.
You had years.
You knew.
He made the diagnosis public.
Yeah, we knew years ago, at least 2 years ago, that
you
Alex
should have
Trebek,
had a host a year ago.
Yeah. And it should have just been the guy like Ken Jennings or something who, was the big champion on there. They should have just locked him in.
Unbelievable.
Next, The Many Saints of Newark comes out this week.
Excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
It's probably somewhat secluded to, maybe not secluded, but this is a Sopranos film for Sopranos people.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably going to try to be able to approach from the outside of Sopranos fanhood.
Yeah.
But for the most part, the character names, everything you're going to recognize from the Sopranos series.
And it's made by the guy who made The Sopranos.
So this is a bit of a love letter to people like you and I who adore that show.
Yeah. Next up, the stat was released a couple of weeks ago that 1 in 500 Americans has now died of COVID.
That's right.
Good job.
Unbelievable. And that number is only going to go up.
Yeah.
Deaths aren't exactly stopped.
No.
So I stopped checking myself. Like, I used to keep track of the positivity rate in the state every day. I just don't do it anymore. It's a waste because it would just make me more nervous than I already would be or am. So it's it's kind of unbelievable that we still haven't been able to come together to figure out a way. I mean, boy, I wonder if there's a way out there that we could try to get past this thing.
Jeez, if only I could think of.
If about 70 million people would just find that way, that we could maybe move past this.
Next, the Justice for J6.
Yeah, boy, that was a big... is that the rally?
Yeah.
A couple dozen people showed up for it?
Was it? I thought it was at least like a couple hundred.
Well, yeah, I think you're probably right. Yeah. I didn't see any of the images from it. But yeah, it's quite comical. That we're calling these people political prisoners now and acting... this is...
Political prisoners.
The fact that this has turned into something so laughably dumb about people who tried to literally invade the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
Invade!
Yeah, like a coup. They tried a political takeover.
And now we need to somehow free them or make them feel like martyrs.
Right.
Is a stunning turn.
Yeah, no, those are all dumb people. Don't care about them. Okay, before that, 1 in 500 Americans has now died of COVID in the last year and a half.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, again, that number's only going to get smaller. I don't know how much smaller it gets, but 1 in 500 isn't the lowest it's going to get.
Yeah.
Because obviously that number can't exactly go up. So,
yeah.
I mean, do we get 1 in 250? Do we get to 1 in 100, Steve?
I bet we can do that. If we try really hard. I mean, if we really put our mind to it, and some of us have really put our mind to it, we could get there.
I just wonder where the peak is. If it's 1 in 250, is it 1 in 300? I mean,
Yeah.
Again, I think deaths are still. They are now on the downturn again. Now, I don't know what that means as we enter a winter season.
Yeah, that's all right. November, once November, December, January, that was the worst of it last year.
Yep.
And then
I'm
we
sure
got
it'll be fine this time.
Yeah. Uh-huh. All right, before that, The Many Saints of Newark. This Saturday, HBO and in theaters.
So excited, honestly. And
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a commercially successful movie. I haven't seen a ton of advertisement for it, not like a big blockbuster, right?
Yeah, I don't think you really need it for this one, though.
But it's also going up against a comic book movie and a kids movie.
Yeah.
There's the Addams Family animated sequel. There's Venom 2 out there.
Yeah.
And now this is the more adult-centric movie
Mm-hmm.
in a time where theaters are kind of in a downturn again right now. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, there's a chance in 2 weeks the studios may be writing this thing off as another bomb, and David Chase won't have the option to make another movie.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's true.
a love letter to fans is what I'm hoping.
All right, Jeopardy, the big hosting debacle.
Oh, my God. No bigger news in the world. No bigger news in the world. The one guy said some misogynistic thing 12 years ago. We need to fire him halfway. And then 2 weeks later when...
Right. Yeah, it was kind of a half firing.
Yeah, and then 2 weeks later when the geriatric population is still upset, you have to fire him from the other half.
Yeah.
And then you need to restart a search after you've done a year-long search.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, you think they could have figured that out in advance.
Quite stunning to watch this all happen, and the amount of people care is so weird to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one thing
It's not going to be the
wrap my
same.
brain
Like
around.
it's fine. It's not going to be the same. You liked Alex Trebek.
They're not Trebek.
Yeah.
We need to accept that. And there was this big push for LeVar Burton. Now LeVar Burton says, I don't even want it anymore. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
And the reports were that he wasn't very good when he did it. I didn't watch it because I don't care that much, Steve.
Yeah.
I tune in when people like Jeopardy James is playing and he's turning the game on its head and outraging the older people who say, you can't play that way.
Yeah.
I don't care. I don't care if the show goes off air tomorrow.
And first on the list, we had Norm Macdonald. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, a big loss for the comedy world. I don't know if he has like a modern peer that does that style.
Yeah, I don't know.
On a large form, right? That's very popular is what I mean. Now, please, dear God, do not inundate me with, you should check out,
Right.
you know.
I loved going back and watching his set at the Bob Saget roast.
Yes.
From like the, I don't know, 2005, 2010, maybe somewhere around there. Because the story behind that was the producers kept saying to him, Norm, we want you to be raunchy, we want you to be dirty, as dirty as you can be. I'm assuming for ratings purposes, because they know that the dirtier those roasts are,
Yes.
more people that watch them. So as a bit of an FU, he just said, okay, yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be as PG as possible. And he got all of his jokes from like a 1940s joke book.
Unbelievable.
I love that. I love that.
The man would take comedy, what you would expect out of comedy, and he turned it on his head.
Yeah.
And I know we have a general method to do this after everybody like this passes. But yeah, a big loss for comedy for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know that you could do that today, and that's why I asked that question a minute ago. Is there somebody out there who's trying to be a modern day Norm?
I don't know.
Because I don't know that this succeeds now. I mean, comedy is so very different. You have Kevin Hart selling out football stadiums, and then you have Jeff Dunham selling out arenas, and you have very talented comedians who can't sell out a 200-seat club.
Yeah,
So-
and if you did have somebody that was doing that now, it would have to be so original, because if it wasn't original, it would just be somebody saying they're just trying to be Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
They're trying to copy Norm Macdonald's delivery.
So you can't really do that.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Yeah. A big loss. Obviously, a couple weeks late, but glad we were able to finally approach that.
Yeah. What do you want to... Do we have anything else?
Nope. That's it.
Nothing else. Nothing else at all. Got to plug our big appearance coming up.
Yeah, maybe next week if they can figure out their schedule over there.
Maybe. Yeah, it has been adjusted a few times,
For
right?
God's sake. This is between dealing with Tony Rodabaugh and The brothers Humphrey who can't be bothered to wake up to record. What a nightmare! Just trying to appear on somebody else's show.
Yeah. We've accepted the invitation. Now just plan it.
Make it happen. So yeah, stay tuned. Next week we'll be talking about, in the next 2 weeks, we'll be talking about our appearance in another program.
All right, we will talk to you next week at Steve and Kyle, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll recap the polls next week. Talk to you then.